什么？没听清。我就只开了3，只开了这个麦，剩下的全都关掉了。你去看一下可以。喂，喂，这样 OK 吗？
hao, good morning, good afternoon. Sorry for a small delay, but we will have 2 great hours together. Welcome to the International Press Conference, the day before we kick off the 2025 season of the Wanda Diamond League. Here in Egret Stadium, in the city of Xiamen, Fujian province in China. Welcome to the media here in the room and the live stream across the world. And welcome also to some athletes. Hi Grant, you're in a good mood, that's good. We have Karsten Warholm, Grant Holloway, we have Devynne Charlton and Shericka Jackson in the far end. And this press conference will be monitored by Katal Denehi. And I'm Rune Stenersen, I'm the meeting director of the Red Star Macline Wanda Diamond League Xiamen. Wanda Diamond League is the top tier of World Athletics one-day meetings. 14 meetings throughout the season held in 4 continents leading up to the final. This year, the final is held in Zurich early September. Covering 32 disciplines in both track and field. And stadium athletic is truly exciting, including run, jump and throw. I'm happy to announce that Wanda Diamond League throughout the season will be broadcasted to more than 170 countries. So tomorrow's action from Xiamen will have a big global reach. The 2-hour live broadcast starts at 7 p.m. local time, that's GMT +8, and the pre-event starts from 5:15 for the pre-events at the stadium. In the 3rd edition of Diamond League in Xiamen, we have 235 athletes from 50 nations in the 14 Diamond League events and the 2 additional international events. We will have a great crowd tomorrow with a sellout of our capacity close to 23,000 spectators. The weather forecast is really good. I will say perfect for athletics. Cloudy, 22 degrees Celsius, humidity around 70%, light wind from northeast, so it will be great conditions. We have great competition to look forward to, and mark my words, it will be sensational. We will now have 4 groups of athletes in interviews. I will take them quick. We have introduced the first one. In approx 30 minutes, we will have Beatrice Chebet, Gudaf Tsegay, Kipyegon, Yaroslava Mahuchikh. At around 3 o'clock, Mondo Duplantis, Feng, Valarie, Allman. And around 3:30, Akani Simbine, Letsile Tebogo, Coleman, and Zhenye Xie. And after that last group, they will also do 30 minutes with one-to-one in the stadium for the media present here at Egret Stadium. So okay, then we start with the important part. So take it away, Katal.
Thank you. Testing, there we go. We're off and running. So a lot of these athletes will need no introduction to you, but I'll give them a brief one anyway. On your left, Karsten Warholm, the 3-time world champion in the 400-meter hurdles, the Tokyo Olympic champion, silver medalist in Paris last year, and the fastest man in history at the 400-meter hurdles and the event he's running here, the 300-meter hurdles. Next to him, Grant Holloway, 3-time world champion outdoors, 3-time world champion indoors, an 11-year winning streak indoors, and the 60-meter hurdles world record holder and the 2nd fastest man in history in the event he runs here, the 110 hurdles. Beside him, Devynne Charlton. She is the 2-time world indoor champion, 2-time Olympic finalist, 2-time world finalist, and the world record holder in the 60-meter hurdles. And on the end, last but certainly not least, Shericka Jackson of Jamaica, 2-time world champion at 200 meters, Olympic bronze medalist in the 400 meters and the 100 meters. She has medals of every color from the Olympics and the Worlds in the relays. And she's, of course, the 2nd fastest woman in history over 200 meters. with that amazing 21:41 that you ran 2 years ago. We'll start with the first man on the left, Karsten. The last time a lot of people saw you run would have been that race in Zurich. Obviously, didn't have the result you wanted with a hamstring injury, but the question I suppose everyone is wondering 7 months later, how is the health, how is the fitness ever since?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. I just said to Cathal, thank you very much for reminding me of the 100 meters. I appreciate that. A really proud moment for me, obviously. I think the training since that has been good, actually. I think I've done all the work that I want to. I also skipped the indoor season to get some more training in. I think even though I don't want to face it, I'm getting a little bit older in the sport as well, so I need to take care of these poor legs that have been pushing for many years already. So I feel like I've used these, I don't know, 7-8 months or whatever it is, very good to train a lot. So yeah, I'm feeling good actually. Looking forward to run here in Xiamen.
You've often opened your season with a 300-meter hurdles. What's the kind of thinking behind that? Does it kind of fit better into your program at this part of the year?
Yeah, it's an event that I have really enjoyed for quite a while. I think it's a very nice distance to start the season off with. It's also a race that I do more in training as well. So I think it's a distance that's fun. Also, it can present something different. If somebody wants to provide. Luckily for everyone, I have a laptop. Oh, thank you.
Test.
Hello? Hello. Okay, there we go. So the tree. Somebody here don't want to listen to me, right? Like turning it off. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. So to keep it short, I'm really looking forward to race 3-meter hurdles. I think it will bring very exciting times for a lot of 4-meter hurdlers to come.
The world best is 33:26. Is that on your mind tomorrow? You obviously hold the world record.
Yeah, I did a world best there some years ago, and I've been looking to better it. Yeah, I tried one race last year, couldn't do it. So hopefully, this time and in Xiamen could be a good timing to try again, and I will really push for it. I was saying to Grant, actually, I hope that he would join, but he just wants to run 110 meters tomorrow, he said.
And hopefully the microphone holds up. Grant, you obviously maintained that amazing 11-year winning streak in Nanjing. How has everything been in the month or so since, as you move back towards focusing on 110?
Test. All right. Hopefully my mic is on. All right. Let's make it work. After the indoor season, it's been good for me. Dealt with a little bit of just life crisis, just going from back to back, just world championships after world championships. So I think I just had a little bit of a fatigue block, but other than that, I got back on the high horse. Just throw them all.
Maybe this one will work.
Throw them all away, but my goal this season was to stay undefeated all the way throughout, and I fell a little bit short last week, opening up at Tom Jones to Trey Cunningham, who ran an awesome race. So in a little bit of the midst of adversity, so I just got to prove to myself and prove to my team that I'm still that guy. and I'll always be that guy. And you know, looking to come out here with some great competition and get back on the high horse.
What would be a good nice race?
You just get across the finish line before everybody else. It's so early to kind of talk about times and, you know, what type of shape somebody's in and all the good stuff. You know, the main goal for myself is, you know, always just find a way to win. You know, all the great athletes find ways to win. It doesn't have to be my best race, doesn't have to be my worst race, but, you know, once we get across the finish line, we'll watch the film and we'll figure out what happens. And, you know, watching the film from a week ago, that wasn't the guy that I remember from the Olympics. So, you know, it's just one of the things where, you know, I set my goals out, fell a little short, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't really prove to who I am now. You know, the main goal obviously is to get through this whole season healthy. And the main goal is obviously World Championships in September. Yeah. Completed his career Grand Slam, and I was listening to a couple of interviews and hearing him talk about it, and you know, you can kind of feel like the relief is off his shoulders because that was the main thing he was missing. And I think it was the same thing for me. You know, I completed my career Grand Slam at such a young age. Now it's like, okay, what can I do in other events or in the 110 hurdles or the 60s that really set myself apart from, you know, the rest of the competition or the rest of the athletes that have, you know, been trailblazers for the sport. And, you know, I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. Obviously, we have big goals for this season coming up. But I know next year is going to look a little different, not just for myself, but, you know, for everybody that is, you know, part of my team. So I'm going to try to challenge them to, you know, let's get out the comfort zone of hurdles. Like Karsten said before, maybe go run 200-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles. You know, just trying to figure out something just to add a little bit of a flair or a little bit of spice and, you know, just continue to put, you know, Grant Holloway's name out there on the forefront. 1, 2, 4, 8 mile, 16. I don't even know how many numbers there are in track, but I'm going to try to put myself out there for real.
You obviously won an amazing World Indoor Final last year, or this year, last month. Best women's hurdle final in history, I would say. Can you tell us about that race and the fine margins that separated that top six?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's been discussed when you talk about the women's short hurdles is how it's one of, if not the most competitive event in track and field right now. You really can't call the podium. When you look at it, of course, when I see it, I'm just like, I want to top the podium every single time. But when people speak about it, it's just like, it could be anybody's day. And I think it keeps the event exciting. It's something that I love to be a part of. And in Nanjing, coming in, I knew it was going to be a tough one. I had my work cut out for me, but just kind of had to sit back and rely on experience because I think this might have been my 8th global final, I want to say. So something I know how to do. I know how to get to the final. And once I'm there, all I need is a lane. And once I have a lane, I have an opportunity to do something big, do something special.
And you had a great run here last year, 12:49 to start the season. Had a good return to Xiamen tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think I haven't won Diamond League as yet, and so I've been second quite a few times. But so chasing that first win, the goal is always to cross the line first. But at this point in the season, I'm more focused on executing a good race. And so that we can just see where we are and work from there.
And the hurdles is obviously a high-risk event. You get very low over those hurdles. Does the quality of the women's hurdles force you to really attack them at times, given the margin between first and 8 are often so tiny?
Yeah, because the thing with hurdles is that you focus on efficiency. And so the person who's most efficient over the hurdles is spending the least amount of time on the ground, attacking the track. That's the person who's most likely going to win. So just knowing that you kind of have that this attitude, like I'm gonna attack this hurdle, and if I fall, I fall. But you really have to bring that level of aggression.
Shericka, great to have you here. How have the preparations been going through the winter, through the spring, as you get ready for the summer season?
Things has been going really, really good. I'm healthy, and I'm just excited to be here.
that fine line between, I guess, training hard obviously, but also needing to stay healthy?
I needed to take a break, and I think last year was really hurtful, but mentally and physically I had coaches, my family and friends in my circle, so coach and I sit down and we had a conversation during the Olympics, and I think going home was, I think, the best thing at that moment, but we work on the fine details of getting me healthy, and I took some time to get healthy, and I'm excited.
Awesome. And in terms, it's obviously way too early in the season to really have high expectations, but in terms of what you're looking for from the race tomorrow, you have an idea?
I just want to cross the line healthy, you know. It's been June since I compete competitively in the 200s. I just want to take my time and work my way back in slowly. I'm not rushing anything. World Championship is in September, so I have a lot of time to fix the fine details. It's my first race since June, so I'm just excited to be here.
And do you think you're going to split your focus evenly between 1 and 2 this year? Might the 4 even feature at some point? Or would it be one event standing out to you more that you're looking at?
I'm definitely not the 400. But as I said, I think we both run some 100 and 200, but I think mostly to focus on the 200 now. And I honestly don't know, but anywhere the season takes me, whether the 100 and 200 are one event, then I'm definitely ready.
And you ran a 300 recently. How did that feel, I guess, and what did you and your coaches take from that race to use going forward?
It felt weird, you know. I think I was trying to learn how to run again, and that 300 was really hard, but I was excited because I think it gave me a sense of calm to know where I was and how it felt running beyond 200. So I think I was excited but nervous, but I got the job done, so I'm okay.
Cool. Any questions? Someone has a question? Hopefully we have a working mic there.
Thank you, it's Harbor content creator. The question for all athletes, because you guys are have the label of the world record holder or chasing after world record. I would like to see media and fans always like to talking about breaking records. Are you guys are willing to talk it often? And what's the mindset do you have when chasing better results? Yes, thank you.
I think my mindset when it comes to bettering myself, bettering my times, is you just have to dive headfirst into it, and it's almost as if performance and bettering myself is the top thing on my mind, and so everything I do is geared towards how do I become a better athlete. And I think when you get to that point where you're just like everything's clicking on that level, then you start to see performances and your time dropping. And I think that's how I got to the place that I'm at.
Records are, as cliche as it sounds, records are meant to be broken. But once you start thinking about it and chasing it and saying, you know, that's your goal, that's usually where you don't really see it. Now, obviously, for me, in my situation, I'm definitely gunning for it. I mean, that's the only thing I'm missing, so that's my only sense of motivation. But for, you know, the athlete or the kid or the, you know, someone looking to achieve goals, it's just, you gotta just continue just to show up, continue to put one foot in front of the other, and regardless of if you fail or if you succeed, you know, you still have to show up the next day. So taking it with a grain of salt, you know, regardless of whatever situation, as long as you show up and you put your best effort forward, you know, you're going to get some positive results.
Yeah, I think it's actually a copy and paste. I think because I chased the world record for some years, and as Grant is saying, it's actually when you try to push for these records is when you usually don't take them, because as my coach always say, speed cannot be forced. And when you try to force the speed, a lot of bad things is happening in your rhythm as well. So I think to have those records there is a very good motivation for you. But at the same time, it's about winning the races, and I think we should not let all the record breaking overshadow the great duels of competing as well. This is also a lot of excitement in people going head to head, just as me as Grant is going to do on the 300-meter hurdles. These things are also important, but of course records are super fun, and I think it's also the great thing with our sports that you can always measure the performance. We are really wondering about the women's 200 as well.
For me, I think in 2023 I had a really good shot, and I was brave enough to say it, because one time I was really afraid to say I wanted to break the world record. It's something that I still have in mind. Do I focus on it? No. I just take each step at a time, and I think if it's supposed to come, it will come once I'm healthy. As I said, it's definitely one of my goals, and I just want to stay healthy, and once I'm healthy and having some fun, then anything is possible.
Any more questions?
Yes. As an independent writer, my question is for Charlton. Last month in Nanjing, you achieved your personal season best with the top 6 or finishing under 780. Yeah, it's very impressive to defend the title in such hard match. My question is, women's hurdles these 2 years become extremely competitive. What is driving this rapid improvement in performance? Is the technique getting better? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I would have to guess that it's a combination of things. Better coaching, learning from each other, and I think just this crop of women, we're all so close in time and talent, and so I think it just pushes you more. So you might see someone run a crazy time, and you go back to practice, and you're just like, okay, I have to be that much better when I step on the track compete against these ladies. And then when the race is close, I think it just pushes you as well, that when you have someone to run with the competition, I think it just breeds a lot of great performances.
Any more questions? Yes.
Hello, question is Morten from the Norwegian Federation. I just have asked a question about the 300-meter hurdles. Do you think will come some new runners up now? I mean, the 400-meter hurdles have been more like you, Rai Benjamin, Dos Santos. Will we see some new runners coming up for this new event?
Yeah, I think Grant Holloway actually. No, but it's actually a very good question, and I think this is also a very interesting question, like in general for track and field. Where can more athletes meet to compete? And we were just talking about the 100 meters. Me and Mondo obviously not being 100-meter runners, it created a lot of fuss in the sport, and it was big discussion. So yeah, I think it's a move in the right direction to look where more athletes can meet and compete between their main distances. So yes, I think actually the 300-meter hurdles can be a start to more athletes trying the 400-meter hurdles as well. So that is my hope, and I think it was a very good question.
Any more questions? We've had one come in from Il Giornale in Italy. It's for you, Karsten. The viral ice hurdling we all saw online. Do you have any more extreme challenges planned like that?
Yeah, I think maybe ice hurdling can be also a new sport. Something we can have alongside with the 300-meter hurdles as well. You would enjoy that, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I was actually amazing. I think Norway is, of course, a country where everybody knows it's super cold, and yeah, we just started one time doing some some funny videos about doing training in Norwegian outdoor conditions. We obviously train mostly indoors in Norway. So yeah, this year it was ice hurdling, and it actually worked very, very well. So I think there is some future in it. Maybe hurdlers can be in the Winter Olympics soon.
And just one last question that came in for Grant. Where is it? After winning everything, what's in your future? What are the goals you have for the rest of your career?
One of the big goals for me is to get out there and challenge Karsten and any other athlete to 200-meter hurdles. I mean, with everything going on next year, it's going to be a perfect opportunity. So he keeps challenging me, so I'm going to challenge him just a little bit. We'll find a distance and we'll figure out the hurdle height, and we'll get some sponsors involved, and hopefully we can get to Zurich and we can put on another show for everybody else.
So I think that concludes the first section. Thank you to all the athletes. Very best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys.
This is the good one. This is the
Wait. This. Testing. Wait. We didn't speak.
So, the second group of athletes of 4 today, and it is another group loaded with champions. On the left, Faith Kipyegon needs almost no introduction, but I'll give her one anyway. 3-time Olympic champion over 1500 meters, 4-time world champion at 1500 meters. a world 5,000 meter champion, and of course the fastest woman in history at the 1500 meters and the mile. Beside her, from Ethiopia, Gudaf Tsegay, two-time world champion over 5,000 meters, an Olympic bronze medalist at 5,000 meters. Last month she won her second world indoor title over 1,500 meters, and of course she is the holder of 2 world records for the indoor 1,500 meters and the outdoor 5,000 meters. Beside her, the one jumper amongst the athletes, the runners, it is Yaroslava Mahuchikh of Ukraine. She is the reigning European champion, the reigning Olympic champion, and the reigning world champion in the high jump. And of course, last year with that amazing world record of 2 meters 10 centimeters. And finally, on the end, a woman who had the dream year last year, Beatrice Chebet of Kenya. She is the reigning Olympic champion at 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters, the reigning world champion at 5,000 meters, the reigning world cross-country champion, and of course the world record holder at 10,000 meters and for 5 kilometers on the road. So we'll start and go in the same order. We'll start on the left with Faith. Faith, how is the form? How is the fitness? It's been a long time since we saw you race, I think last September. So how has everything been going over the last several months? We'll just pass along the microphone.
I'm doing great. The training has been really good so far. And I'm so grateful to be here in Xiamen to start my season, the 2025 season. And just start my season and see what you know.
And tomorrow, obviously, you're taking on the 1,000 meters. The world record is 2:28.98. It has stood for 29 years. I know you came very, very close a few years ago. Is that world record on your mind tomorrow?
What is in my mind is just to start my season. I can't talk about the world record, but we will see after the finish line. I have the second fastest, and this will be my second 1,000 meters. And I hope to run the best and see how the shape is towards Tokyo.
And of course, earlier this week, the whole running world was electric with the energy that you are going to make an attempt at a sub 4-minute mile for a woman. It will happen in June in Paris. It's a very straightforward question, but it's probably difficult to answer. Do you believe you can run a sub 4-minute mile?
That's a very tough question though, but my mind and my thought is for tomorrow, just to run tomorrow and see the plans forward and just focus for what is next.
And how has training been going in terms of, have you had a consistent run free of injuries? Do you feel the fitness is good?
For me, I feel good. I'm injury free, I'm healthy, and I'm waiting to start my season tomorrow. In terms of training, I've been training good, and I'm just focusing myself to tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you very much. And if you can pass the mic to Gudaf. Gudaf, we have help with translating also. It's the first race of the outdoor season tomorrow. What are your hopes for this race?
ስለነገ ውድድር ምን ታስባለሽ? ያው ታውቂዋለሽ ጥያቄውን።
አመሰግናለሁ። በመጀመሪያ ነገ ያው ቆንጆ ለመሮጥ እሞክራለሁ።
Yeah, she say I will run very good tomorrow.
That's what we like to hear. Short and sweet. You ran 3 events at the Olympics last year in Paris. As you look towards later in the year, the World Championships, do you think you will mix events again? Is 3 possible again, or will you run less?
ያለፈው የፓሪስ ኦሎምፒክ 3 ዲስታንስ ነው የሮጥሽው። ለሚቀጥለው ለመሮጥ ቶኪዮ ላይ ምን ታስቢያለሽ?
ኦሎምፒክ ላይ እዛ በድንገታዊ የሆነ ህመም ታምሜ ነበር፣ አልቻልኩም። ለቀጣይ ግን ያው አይቼ ነው ገና ነው ውድድሩ ገና።
ሶሪ
ኦሎምፒክ ላይ ታምሜ ነበረ፣ ጥሩ ባረኩም። ለቀጣይ ግን ውድድሩ ገና ስለሆነ አሁን መወሰን አልችልም።
She say I was in the Olympic, I was sick for this, I don't run good, but for the next, I don't know, has a lot of time, I don't have decision, she say.
And the race tomorrow, are you more focused on winning, or do you think you're going to try and run a fast time also?
ነገ ለማሸነፍ ነው ፎከስ ያደረግሽው ወይንስ በጣም ሰዓት ለመሮጥ ነው ፎከስ ያደረግሽው ወይንስ ለማሸነፍ?
ነገ ሰርቻለሁ፣ ተዘጋጅቼ ነው የመጣሁት። አብረን የምናየው ይሆናል።
She said, I have a good preparation. The result we will see together.
Thank you very much. And if we can pass the mic to Yaroslava. Yaroslava, 2024 was the perfect year. I mean, you were Wanda Diamond League champion, you set the world record, and of course the Olympic gold. How do you top that in 2025?
Hello everyone. Yeah, the 2024 was a fantastic year. I think it was excellent year of my career. But of course I need to turn this page and be ready for the next season because I want to improve myself and jump high as possible.
Have you changed anything about your approach since Paris in terms of either your training or your technical approach?
No, I didn't change, but I trained a lot to feel the better my runway because we changed last year. You know, it's just 1 year how I jump this technique.
And how is the evolution of that technique? How does it feel right now as you start the outdoor season?
You know, I feel good and I'm looking forward for tomorrow competition because it will be early opening of my season. But I'm looking forward to compete with girls and it will be a great competitive atmosphere and let's see how it will be.
And as you look towards the outdoor season, have you set goals in mind for this summer?
Of course, the main competition it will be World Championship in Japan. So the main preparation and the main in my mind it will be World Championship. So to get in shape for this long season.
And I know indoors you mentioned about some issues with the run-up. I guess changing and not being fully used to it. How is that progressing in terms of ironing out and trying to get back to that peak shape I suppose you hit last year?
No, you know, after European I have a little bit injury and of course I cannot jump well, but now it's all okay. I'm full recovered and I'm ready to jump and mentally, physically I'm ready to jump higher.
Awesome, thank you very much. Beatrice, an amazing year last year. Was that year everything you dreamed it would be?
Yeah, last year was a good season for me, a good year, an excellent year, and I'm grateful for every performance for last year.
And you haven't raced much since I think January maybe was your last races. We've seen a couple of cross-country races, so the last 3-4 months, how have things been going in training?
Training is really good. Training was going on well. And as you see, the season of last year was very long for me. I ended up December, and so for now, I know training has been good, and I'm happy to come back here in Xiamen for the second time.
And what's the goal tomorrow night?
For tomorrow, as we start the new season, I hope for good results. We run good. And we see how the season will be. Yeah.
Awesome. And as you look towards further into the summer, what are your goals for this year? Are you thinking world records? Are you thinking 2 gold medals in Tokyo? What's the ambition?
For now, we focus on main goal on Tokyo World Championship. Yeah, that's the main goal.
Awesome. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions for our athletes, now is the time. Yes, man on the right.
This is the lead content creator question for Yaroslava Mahuchikh. As we all know, this event like high jump, failure is inevitable things in the process of reaching higher heights. And in this process of relentless pursuit of reaching higher, maybe by centimeters, what you have learned from this process and how has this relentless pursuit shaped who you are today? Thank you.
You know, it's a long process to jump high because I remember the time when I broke my personal best when I jumped in Banska Bystrica to 206, and a lot of people say that it's just 4 centimeters and it will be new world record. but these every centimeters, it takes a lot of hard work, and I think it takes physically work and mentally work that you should be ready and you should think just about this record at time. When I was at competition, I'm thinking I just turn off my emotional and just get ready for jump. And everything that I can say that every time you should believe in yourself and continue working, keep working to achieve your goal.
Any more questions?
It's independent writer. My question is for Kipyegon. When did the idea of ranking 4 first come to, and what does this challenge mean to you? Thank you.
As I said earlier, I don't want to talk about breaking 4 now. I just want to focus tomorrow. But I will just say impossible can be possible. So that is the dream.
Any more questions? Yes.
Question for Yaroslava. Oh, I love your outfit today. Very nice.
Thank you.
You always talk about jump higher, jump higher. Last year in Xiamen, you're not the world record holder, you're not the Olympic champion, but congrats, now you have both. So what's the motivation for you to jump higher and higher?
I think that you should do just work that you love, and the question of motivation, it's deleted from your mind, because if you do what you love, it's your passion. I think that you want to be better version of you, and you want to be broke the records, broke you mentally, so just, I think, just find the work, just find your passion.
We have a question that's come in remotely from Il Giornale in Italy. It's for Yaroslava, and he asks, are you bringing something new in your run-up in Xiamen, or will it be the same?
It will be the same.
It's not broke, don't fix it. We've also had a question for Faith come in, and it is it true that motherhood changes the way you run?
Well, absolutely, yes. Motherhood has changed who I am. I think since I gave birth to my daughter, Aline, have been running fast and running strong. So I think it has changed me mentally, and being a mother can change everybody's life.
And I know your daughter is almost 7 now, I think?
My daughter is 6 years.
Yeah, so she's old enough to know what her mother's achieving. Does she pay close attention to your races? What does she tell you when you're on the phone to her after the races?
Now my daughter understands what I do, and she's like, she's supporting me in any way, because she understands that I have to travel, around the world to race, and she normally watch every race I race, so it really motivates me a lot.
And 1,000 meters, it's a kind of a strange distance that not many people run. How do you approach that tactically? Do you kind of, in your head, make it feel like an 800 or pacing-wise?
Yeah, 1,000 is like 800. It's a short distance. It's a long after 800, and also short from 1,500. So to run 1,000 is straight. You don't have, I don't have any tactics, but we will see what will happen, and I'm going to race and see how far I am in terms of speed.
Any more questions from the floor? Don't think so. I think we're all done then. We can let the athletes go. To Beatrice, to Yaroslava, to Gudaf, and to Faith, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck tomorrow.
马夫奇克。
镜头盖，那个镜头后面的后盖也是他，镜头就那换岗。
Because I knew 24 hours later, I mean, you had 24 hours to cancel, so I canceled it. Yeah, so I have no flight from Shanghai on the 4th. On the 10th. I came here at 1:30 in the morning. I had 24 hours with visa free, and that's May the 4th. Or oh no, they China Airlines said made up any time May the 4th is okay. So it can be more than 240 hours. So it can't be less than next.
他们那个红牛那个真是。
我也是这么觉得的，我是这么觉得的。
这个东西啊，原版就是原版，不一样。
Yeah, that freaked out. You have a hotel reservation, the Xiamen hotel reservation. And then when I got here, the Chinese immigration, he asked me, show me your Xiamen in Shanghai. Show me the ticket. Yeah, they freaked out. We're sneaking in to report on something. Yeah, I immediately thought I tried to. Yeah, they've seen it all before. All day long. Yeah, I have a reservation. We're going to take the bus. Were you here last year?
我现在刚刚一直在生气，傻逼样式。
Go back to the official. I mean, that's the weekend.
不是，拿走了。我服了。
你说那架子？
对啊。
他们一贯的，
妈的全拿走了。
他们不是一贯就是拿走，
妈的一个不上啊！还剩了一个。
你妈装大也装乱了，到哪儿你都得让开。
估计他们最后一个不好意思拿。
I have startup companies, but I tell them that I'm going to take half the year off because I'm an old man. Yeah, so I don't have to work anymore. But I want to work because it's and since we're in China, you don't know.
他们拿没人跟你说，
没人跟我说。
拿，
从箱子里拿都没跟我说。
就直接就。
这他妈算偷！我操，这他妈不叫拿。
一拿一个不是。
Which is from the UK originally, but they're sold by Japan. So anyway.
而且人家问他妈谁给你？他妈是谁给你？
And they're going to hook up with the Swiss. We have a processor called RISC-V, RISC-V. The China system, because of the U.S. dollar. So Trump. So China basically, we're using our own CPU, we're not paying license. But NVIDIA does it. Seagate does it already. Seagate Drive, it's like 500 processors. RISC-V processor on NVIDIA. And all automotive electronics and stuff, we already have RISC-V. So China is the only one that's the whole U.S. Half the U.S. Intel, ARMS, Japanese ARMS, or software. And then the other So Holloway started initially with open harmony. Keep it moving. So what is open harmony? Open harmony replaces windows. But it hasn't. It's like, yeah, another 10 years. Yeah, so that's what's happening. That's the reaction. So, and because I work in Silicon Valley, I'm an engineers don't care about politics. If something works, we want to work on it. We want to be a part of it. So Silicon Valley is building are part of open harmony, part of this. Just like everybody else, we're geeks don't care about politics. You got something working, everybody wants to join.
1, 2, 1, 2.
So that's what's happening.
1, 2, 1, 2.
So I just got done arguing, so that's why, yeah. I'm still into it, because I just got done, I just came from, Menlo Park, Colorado, Stanford area. Everybody asked me if I went to Stanford. I said, my parents couldn't afford it. He said I was too dumb. I said, okay, here we go. The third
So the third section of 4 in our press conferences today, and 3 amazing field event athletes. Mondo Duplantis from Sweden, the 2-time Olympic champion, 2-time world champion, 3-time world indoor champion, and of course he's broken the pole vault world record an astonishing 11 times, most recently with that 6:27 clearance to win Olympic gold in Paris. In the middle is Feng Bin of China, Olympic silver medalist in Paris, the world bronze medalist back in 2023, and in 2022 she was both the Asian Games champion and the world champion in Oregon. On the right is Valarie Allman of the US, 2-time Olympic champion, a silver and bronze medalist as well at the World Championships, and her recent American record of 73 meters 52 centimeters put her 5th on the world all-time list and was the biggest throw in the discus since 1989. So we'll start with the man closest to me here, Mondo, if we could grab that mic. It's been a busy week already, and I know you don't do all that training to win awards, you do it to break records and win medals, but despite that, I mean, the Laureate World Sportsman of the Year award is huge. How does it feel to add your name to the list that includes the likes of Tiger Woods, Roger Federer, Michael Schumacher?
Yeah, it's quite big, actually. I think that, it's hard to really let it sink in, I guess, because you don't really think about it all that much, and it's hard to really conceptualize the whole thing. But I know that it's very big, and it's something that I'm definitely going to be able to look back on and to be able to have that trophy and realize how special what I did last year was. And I think that that's always going to be really nice, to show my future kids and whatnot, because it's a crazy list. I mean, it's literally the best athletes ever in the history of all sports. And then you just kind of have my name squeezed there in the middle of it, which is quite surreal, honestly. So, yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't really been able to absorb it and really digest the whole thing yet, because everything's been moving so fast. But it's pretty crazy.
There's a lot of other megastars in Madrid. Did you have any particularly cool interactions with any of them? Who was your favorite interaction in terms of people maybe from other sports?
Yeah, I met a lot of really cool dudes. I would say probably the tennis guys were some of the coolest, like Alcaraz and Djokovic, Nadal, them. I guess maybe since track and field is it is an individual sport as well, you kind of relate on that kind of level, and they almost have that similar type of camaraderie with each other to where we do in pole vaulting and a lot of the other track and field events as well. And it was pretty cool to see that and be able to hang out with some of those guys. But yeah, I mean overall, it was a bunch of studs over there, and so it was cool to meet a lot of those people.
Awesome. And it's probably not fair on you, because athletes are not robots, but every time you step on the track, people start wondering if they're going to witness a world record. You obviously did it here last year with that 6:24 clearance. In terms of how your preparation is going, Could that be in play tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never really rule out anything, and I feel like I always try to show up ready to jump high, and you know, as long as the conditions and everything are where it needs to be and things line up, then I always feel like I have that in my mind as a possibility to be able to jump really high and, you know, be pushing something like a world record height. So I think, yeah, I already proved to myself, I guess, and everybody else that this is a really good place to jump, and it is a place that I can jump quite high. So I feel good going in tomorrow. I really haven't checked the weather or anything like that. So hopefully we get good conditions, good weather and stuff. And yeah, then it's just up to me, because I feel quite good, even though it's been a little bit busy with travel and stuff like that. But no, I feel good, and I feel like I can jump good.
Great to hear. Have you changed anything this year in terms of either in training or in the kind of technical approach to your jump, or is it just a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Nah, haven't changed that much, honestly. I feel like I really haven't changed that much in the past, like, 6 years or so like that. I mean, really, like, past, like, 25 years, honestly. I feel like I've been going along, like, pretty similar path, and especially, like, training-wise, it's been pretty much the same for 6 or 7 years. It just, maybe the intensity increases a little bit, and I have, like, a little bit more discipline than I did a few years back and whatnot. But other than that, it's pretty much the same old. It's just, like, trying to really maximize what I have and what I'm good at, I guess. So it's pretty much same old. Just trying to be just a tiny little bit better version of myself than I was yesterday and whatnot.
If we pass the mic down to Feng, perhaps. Feng, Tony's going to help us with translations. You won at this meeting in 2023 and finished third last year. And it was amazing atmosphere both times. How special does it feel to throw against the world's best on your home turf with your home crowd?
嗯，应该说前2年在这里都有一个比较好的成绩吧，但是今年可能我自己自身情况下也是有一些伤病，然后也没有进行一个特别好的系统训练，也是希望在自己的家乡，然后能发挥出一个我目前来说最好的成绩吧。应该说这也是我今年开赛的第1场比赛，也是希望有一个好的成绩。
I'm not in good shape, so I'll do my best to have a good result still for. Awesome. This time last year, there was only one thing you hadn't achieved, which was an Olympic medal, the one medal you wanted most. You got that in Paris. What did that mean to you?
应该说是我离梦想最近的一次吧。它也是肯定了我这么多年的努力，在这么多年日复一日的训练当中得到的结果吧，应该说是一个好的结果吧，也是给自己在接下来的那个比赛和训练当中，然后可以让自己更加有信心的去在挑战更高的成绩。
This is the nearest to my goal for this silver medal. Thank you very much. And tomorrow night, you can pass it down to Valarie. We'll leave time for them to ask more questions. Valarie, every athlete dreams of Olympic gold. You've done that twice. Paris was very different, obviously, for a lot of reasons to Tokyo. But for you, the experience of it, how did it compare to the first time around?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think it finally was that Olympic dream moment I'd really hoped of. I mean, growing up, our family, we've always loved sports, and we would be glued to the TV for 2 weeks, you know, and to have that kind of be the vision of what you think the Olympics about is the roaring crowds and the world coming together and this energy, and to have it be in Tokyo the first time and it be nothing like that. really made me appreciate how special Paris was, to have all of those things be there, as well as my family, my fiance. It really was that moment that all the hard work felt like it paid off for.
And you threw 69.80 here to take victory. How was the experience in Xiamen last year?
I love coming to China. I really was so excited to see that our discipline would be here again. The country is always so welcoming to the athletes, and the facilities, the hospitality, everything is just perfect. I love coming to countries and competing when the field has an athlete where this is their home, and there's an excitement and energy that pulls people in. So I know that we always have great battles together, and I really value that, and I'm excited for another one tomorrow.
And there's 5 women. You're obviously one of them who's thrown over 70 meters in the field. Do you think it's going to take in and around that 70-meter mark to come home in front tomorrow?
I do. I think, it's a very exciting time that 70 is becoming more common, which is crazy. But I think that, most meets, that's the level that you need to be at in order to feel like you could potentially walk away with the win.
And that American record recently, 73.52, monster throw. Was it 36 years, longest throw in 36 years? We know there was favorable wind conditions, but obviously it's not just about the weather. A lot of things have to line up for a throw like that. So for you, that throw specifically, what were the things that just clicked?
Yeah, I've been very excited to go to the meet that's taking place in Ramona, Oklahoma. I think that it's really exciting with kind of all the dynamics happening in track and field, of some events getting maybe more opportunity of between Grand Slam or Diamond League or the Athlos meet, and to have a meet that really celebrated discus, and has designed it to be able to have some of these big performances that have been able to challenge the history, which has been a bit complex. So now being able to maybe rewrite some of those records or get closer to them is really exciting. So we've put in a lot of work this year to want to hit these early meets hard. So I feel grateful to be in good health and be strong and feel like my technique is in shape. So to have that moment 2 weeks ago was really special.
What was the reaction like when you saw 73.52 flash up?
It was crazy. I've always believed that it's been possible to challenge marks like that. And I have so much respect for many of my current competitors, especially for Sandra. And to actually see it pop up, to see a discus stay in the air for that long was quite special. And it's definitely, you want to be in a time period where those results are happening, and to be able to try to push yourself and maximize your potential. So I think it kind of unlocks some things of maybe realizing what I want to pull out of myself. So I'm excited to build on that momentum going forward.
Thank you very much. Questions from the floor? Man here in the blue.
Thank you. From China Media Group, a question to Mondo, please. First of all, another congratulations for your latest Laureus Award, Sportsman of the Year. And obviously you had a great experience here last year in Xiamen, 6:24, and the world record then. So can you share with us a bit of your feeling, come back to Xiamen again? And regarding yourself, what do you regard as probably something in specific as the most significant improvement compared to last year? Thank you.
I know that it's a really special place, and in any place where I'm able to break a world record, of course, it's always going to have a very special place in my heart. And I guess for good reason. Also here is it's an amazing stadium, amazing facility, great track. I guess the big kind of spaceship thing helps to really deaden the wind a little bit, which is very important for us pole vaulters, and especially important for me if I'm going to want to jump really high. So I'm super excited to be back. I try to be selective with the meets that I go to, and go to meets that I feel like I can really attack hard and jump as high as possible and try to push some barriers a little bit. So that's why I'm back here. I know I love competing here, and I loved it last year, and of course I had a great experience. So hopefully we can jump really high. That would be great. Last year was amazing, of course. So if we can push something like that again, that'd be cool.
Any more questions? Yes.
This is Lee from China, content creator.
question for Mondo Duplantis. So yesterday in the activity in Xiamen University, you said a word really touched me. You said these things like a word. You said, I love jump. The things like a word is just come after it. So as the current world record holder, and you have won different kinds of titles, you have already won different titles, different championships, so and broke world records for many times. So what's due and continuously pushed you ahead, and what do you want to leave for this event? Thank you very much.
I think that I just really want to be the best possible version of myself that I can be. I think it's a bit of a misconception and like a really common question, I guess, the whole like lack of motivation thing, and I think it's a bit silly, honestly, because I don't know, it really doesn't work like that. I feel like whenever you're able to get some success and do a lot of the things that that even though you dreamed of doing it, you just kind of naturally as a human, you just adapt to your situations, and you always want to get the most out of yourself and keep being better. And so even though I've been able to really do some amazing things the past few years and things that I could have only dreamed of when I was a kid, I just feel like you get used to the situation, I guess, in a way. And so for me, I know what I'm capable of, and I just want to fulfill my full potential. And so I just try to really get the most out of every day, especially when I'm out on the track. I just try to really get the most out of myself and really push myself as hard as I can, because that's the fun thing about sports. I mean, sports is fun because it's about competing and trying to be the best and be the best version of yourself whenever you're out there. That's doing something just aimlessly and without a goal, then there's really nothing so fun in that. It's fun to have really big dreams and big goals and try to go out there and achieve them. And then when you're able to do that, just keep having bigger dreams and more, because I guess that's the whole fun part, is just the chase. And you're never going to really get to where you want to be, because the second you get there, you just want more anyway. And I don't mean that in like a you're never satisfied way, because I'm super grateful and happy for where I'm at. But just naturally, you just always want more. So I think that's kind of just how it works, I guess.
Any further questions? Yes, lady in the middle.
Thank you, the handsome host. 我是央视网记者，这个问题是给冯彬的。冯彬你好，我是来自江西的杏子，您是南昌大学毕业的。很多报道说去年2024会是你最好的一年，各方面的数据来看，但我相信2025年也许会是你更好的一年。那么从本赛季开始，你对全年的赛季有没有一个什么样的规划？包括这一次很多选手是来到了你的家乡厦门，我们会向这些外国友人做一个怎样的城市推荐呢？谢谢。
我连续3年来到厦门，应该说3年来说，3年给我的感觉都是不一样的。感觉可能，这个3年的那种景色呀，或者是那种感觉都特别的好。但是来了3年，我也没有去鼓浪屿啊，还有厦门大学去走一走，去看一看，也是希望那个。就是世界各地的朋友们都我们到中国到厦门来感受一下中国的不一样的风情吧，然后今年规划可能就是主打一个稳吧，因为今年可能是全运会年嘛，然后注意力还是放在全运会上，也是在今年调整一下身体的状态，然后积极备战吧。今年也是属于那个洛杉矶奥运会周期的第一年嘛，也是希望在今年打好一个整体的，把这一个周期的备战打好一个好的基础吧。好，谢谢。
Thank you. I'll just add a question that's come in the remote mix zone for Mondo. It's from Il Giornale in Italy, and they say, you imitated Dybala's exultation or celebration, I guess, but you're a fan of Ibrahimovic's Milan. Are you still a fan of AC Milan?
Yeah, I am. No, I am still a fan of Milan. And that's what it is. But No, I met Dybala a couple days ago at the Loris Awards. I had actually done his little celebration. I think you could probably look on my Instagram. I think it's way back. I think I posted it even. It was like maybe 2018. I think it was the first time I even had jumped 580. I actually think I did his little like mass celebration. And so it was kind of just like a little bit of a full circle moment in a way. I just thought it was a funny thing, and we were just chopping it up a little bit. So I felt like we had to just kind of swag it out and do the pose together. So I like Dybala, but I still go for Milan.
Awesome. And in terms of that race against Karsten last year, I think everyone always knew you were fast, but probably surprised some people how fast you were. Any more plans for some clashes like that in the future? Would you like to take on some other athletes in different events?
Yeah, I mean, I think the real ball knowers knew that I was a bit quick, and so I think that the people that knew, but I definitely think that I woke a lot of people up and surprised some people about my foot speed, which was a really cool thing. So now I guess that more people would be awake on it, and so it wouldn't have that same surprise factor if I was going to do it again. But I'm always down to do things, especially if we're able to do it in the way that Karsten and I were able to do it in like a really fun and exhibition way that reached a lot of people. I think that was good for everybody, and especially fun for us. And I really enjoyed it. So it wouldn't really have to be a 100 meter. It would probably be in my best interest though, because I don't know if I'd really be that good at anything else, especially not further. Maybe like a 200, 400 would probably be a little bit long, but I would be down to do it. Honestly, I'm kind of, if you catch me in the right mood, I'm stupid enough to really try anything. So I'd really be down. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any more questions for our athletes? Yes.
我想问一下冯斌，刚刚你提到这个冬天自己有伤病嘛？那这个冬训你自己的备战状况是什么样的？以及今年是全运会和世锦赛年，自己是怎么去规划？然后就是最近有没有一些出国比赛的计划？谢谢。
准确来说，我到现在系统训练就练了1个月。今年可能是会着重于下半年的世锦赛和那个全运会，然后整体规划可能还是一个循序渐进吧。然后先把那个眼前的比赛比好，然后在这个基础上再进行再去规划下一步的训练和比赛。好，谢谢。
The last question from Bin is, this year is very special because we have national games. So maybe this is much important for me, for Chinese athletes. So I will focus on the national games. And also the second question is, I have no exactly plan. So just step by step to compete every race well. That is my plan.
Thank you very much. And that concludes this section of the press conference. So to Mondo, to Feng, and to Valarie, huge thank you and very best of luck tomorrow. Okay, welcome, gentlemen. We have 4 of the fastest men in the world, 4 of the fastest men in history standing in front of you. They are from South Africa. On the left, Akani Simbine, 3-time Olympic finalist over 100 meters, 3-time world finalist, African champion at 100 meters, Olympic silver medalist in the 4x1 relay, and just last month, a world indoor bronze medal over 60 meters. Next to him, from Botswana, Letsile Tebogo, the reigning Olympic 200-meter champion, silver and bronze medals from the World Championships in 2023, over 100 and 200, and of course anchored Botswana to silver medals in the 4x400 meters in Paris last year. Second from the right, Christian Coleman of the US, the 2019 World 100-meter champion, 2-time World Indoor champion in the 60 meters, whereas of course he also holds the World Indoor record. And on the far right, the hometown hero, although his hometown is up in Qiqiao, I believe, very close to that, where he'll be racing next week. But he is here competing in front of the Chinese crowd. It is Zhenye Xie. He is the Chinese and the Asian record holder for 200 meters. He 2023 Asian Games 100-meter champion. And of course, he helped China to an Olympic bronze medal in the 4x100 meters in Tokyo. And of course, 10 years ago now, to a world silver medal in the relay back in Beijing 2015. So we'll kick off with the man closest to me, Akani. It's been a memorable month or so for you. And we'll get you a microphone there. You came so close to so many individual medals over the years, but you got that first global one, at least anyway, in Nanjing last year. How did it feel to finally see your name flash up on that screen in the top 3 and step up onto a podium like that?
It felt really great. I think for me, knowing that I've gone through so many years just missing out, and finally just catching something was like, okay, I can actually do this thing. But it's, as coach says, it's just like the beginning of greatness for me, and we're just working towards more and not pressuring ourselves to actually go for medals, but more just get better and get faster.
And you're obviously getting faster all the time. South African national record last year in Paris, 9:82. Do you think you can go quicker this year? Is 9.7 now a possibility? No pressure?
The plan is to always get faster. The plan is always to make sure that I'm running faster. The guys that we're up against, we're a group of guys that keep running fast, and to get in a medal, you have to run 9.7. So that is the plan. But at the end of the day, it's just working on what we're doing and the races that we're doing and just making sure we are getting faster as the season progresses so that when I run my fastest time again would be at the champs.
And you're coming here in outstanding form, and 9.90 recently into a big headwind as well in Botswana. Have things been clicking very well in training?
For us, the time was actually very shocking because we haven't worked on most of the race yet. It was more of working on the 60s and trying to figure out what running an indoor 60 is like, because I've never done that, and it literally just came off the work that we did from the 60 meters. But very exciting. It's kind of like a tick to say, okay, we worked on something and it's working well, and now we just got to keep on working so that we can put the rest of the race together, and that's going to take some of the rest of the season to do. So by September, we're able to put together a faster race, faster times, and make sure that I'm healthy by then.
And what are you hoping for here tomorrow night?
Obviously, I came here for a win, and for me, I have great competitors that are here, but it's obviously to win, I believe that as a competitor, as a 100-meter runner, you don't step on the line not wanting to win. And for me, it's to come here to win, come here to run well, and just start the season off well on a high note.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Pass the mic to the man beside you. Letsile, good to see you again. Just to go back to last summer, because following the Paris Olympics, I think those pictures went around the world of your homecoming to Botswana. I'm sure at that point it was starting to sink in what you had achieved, but how was it to see the reaction in your home nation and the impact of an Olympic win?
It was an unbelievable experience, something that we didn't expect as a team as a whole, but we are grateful to see the support all over the African continent and from our home soil. So it was really amazing to see that kind of support.
Awesome. And you've been running a good few 400s recently, but obviously stepping down to the 100, which you're well accomplished in as well tomorrow night. How do you feel you're, ready for a 100-meter race at the moment? How's the fitness?
I believe the 400 has put so much fitness into everything that we are building up for. I would say I'm ready for the 100 meters, and also to just put down a great show tomorrow.
And in terms of the race tomorrow night, what would be a good night at the office for you?
Just giving out my best, because it will be my first 100 meters of the season. So just to give my absolutely best.
Awesome. And this summer, this season, what are your hopes or ambitions?
First of all is to try and change what we did in Budapest, to change the medals. That's the main goal for this season.
Awesome. And I think everyone saw your relay split 43.03 in the 4x400 last year. Is there any chance we're going to see you really take on a 400 meters at a championship in the years ahead, or will you go with the Usain Bolt option and just cap it at 1 and 2?
Definitely it will be great for me to do the 400 meters. I believe after the LA 2028, that's when we'll switch up, but I don't think I'll be able to do the 400 by then.
Hurts too much?
So much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Christian, great to see you again. You got the win here last year in the 100 meters. How was the experience in Xiamen?
Well, good to see you again as well. The experience was amazing. This is my third time coming to Xiamen, and the fans, the support, the energy in the stadium, it's electric. And so I'm excited to be back, and hopefully I can make it 3 times in a row to come out with a victory.
Awesome. And everyone loves watching you race, full stop, but I think indoors it's particularly explosive. We missed you from the indoor season this year. Was that kind of down to the, I guess, philosophy with the new training group in terms of preferring a kind of a longer, slower build up towards outdoors?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when one of my first conversations with Dennis, it was just about I'm just putting all my eggs in his basket, really, whatever he needs from me, whatever I need to do. Like I'm just, putting my career in his hands. And so, he's just not I ain't gonna say a big fan of indoors, but the way that he trains, like he just, really trains us to be ready outdoors for the 100 and 200. And especially going into a new training group, I just wanted to have more time and more hands-on, experience with him. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm pushing everything in the middle of the table for the 100. So, yeah.
Awesome. There's a lot of world-class sprinters in that group. Have you been working out with Kenny Bednarek and guys like that? And if so, how's it been having someone of his caliber as a kind of a sparring partner day in, day out?
Yeah, every day. Kenny, Courtney Lindsay, Kyrie King, Brandon Hickman. We got 2 Brandons in the group. Brandon Stewart as well. And yeah, we just push each other every day, and I feel like we try to pick each other's minds, but also just feed off each other's energy as well in terms of what we do, well on the track. And so I know that, they try to feed off of me, when we're doing block starts and stuff like that. But, when we're running our 150s, 200s, longer distances, I'm feeding off of, Kenny's energy as well, trying to figure out how to improve on the back end of my race. And so I think it's an iron sharpens iron type of thing, and a little bit new for me, just because before I've pretty much always just been, solo. And so coming into a group, I think is just really helped me. So it's exciting, and I'm ready to see just what I can do with having the level of support system I do have around me now.
Mm-hmm. And will you try and make the US team at 1 and 2 again this year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan for sure.
Awesome. And I know last summer wasn't everything you'd hoped to be, obviously, for an athlete of your ability, but when you got back training, did that light the fire even more when you were going through the hard yards of winter work?
Yeah, you could say that, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like it kind of really just started right after trials. Just because, like you said, I knew I didn't perform to the capabilities that I know I'm capable of, and I know what my talent level is, and I know what I bring to the sport. And I feel like I just kind of, I ain't gonna say been in my own way, but I know it's just another level that I can tap into and get to. And so that was just the goal right after that. That like, I mean, I feel like I've been selling myself short, and I just before I walk away, I want to see what my full potential is. And so even before we got the fall training, I was just ready to get back into it and just ready to get back to these type moments, you know, so I can work on my craft and hopefully be at my best in July USA's.
Thank you very much. Xie, you've taken on the world's best many times in many places, but does it feel different getting to do it at home with your home crowd up in the stands cheering you on?
这是我第2次来到那个厦门比较赛联赛了。然后怎么说呢？就是在座的各位都是新晋的世界冠军，然后奥运会冠军，各个项目的冠军。来福建比就是这么顶级的赛事，其实对于我们运动员来说，包括中国运动员来说是很难得的一件事情。因为我们那么努力训练，就是为了能跟世界顶尖高手一起在同场竞技，去根据他们的一个 PK 当中去得到技术和成绩的提升。然后我也是特别的期待跟兴奋接下来的一场比赛，在明天晚上。然后希望自己能发挥出一个好的成绩给 我的家乡的观众和观看我们的那个粉丝朋友们，就是有一场精彩的赛事。谢谢。
My second time in Xiamen Diamond League, I feel very excited to compete with such kind of high-level athletes. All the hard work for us is to PK these kind of top athletes. So I want to try my best to give the fans a good performance tomorrow.
Awesome. And in terms of tomorrow night, what would be a good night for you?
Thank you.
Or sorry, I'll rephrase it about the season. You obviously had an amazing indoor season, got 4th at the World Indoors. How did that prepare you, I guess, for the outdoor season, or where do you feel it's got you ready, I guess, to do something outdoors?
就是刚才他说，在今年的室内赛季、室内世锦赛，在拿到第4名了，非常不错的一个成绩。那怎么备战室外的一个比赛？怎么从室内向室外过渡？给我们讲讲你的训练情况。
对，因为一直以来我是200米专项的一个选手，跟特伯格的主项一样，然后我也是很努力的，希望我在直道的速度上有更高的一个提升，所以今年我很努力的去备战了一个室内60米的一个比赛，然后最终拿到了第4，很遗憾没有站上领奖台，但是也给了我很大的一个充足的信心，然后让我的一个直道速度有一个比较不错的一个体现，所以也是期望在100的一个赛道上能发挥出像室内60米的这么一个速度，能很好的转换下去。因为一直以来我的起跑不好嘛，然后短距离的比赛每一点都很重要，不能有一点的失误。那么在100米上其实也是一样，所以我希望我能继续维持好在室内的一个表现，在室外能提升自己的成绩，能跟他们有一个很好的一个 PK。对。
You know, I'm a 200 meters runner just like you. So in order to improve my street speed, so I focus on my 60 meters in this winter season. So I'm so pleased that I got the 4th place, but a little bit pity that I cannot get onto the podium. So, but it's a good confidence for me to improve my 100 meters. So I'd like to have a good speed to PK such kind of good athletes in 100 meters.
Thank you very much. We'll open the floor to questions. If we, yeah, lady in the middle.
谢谢主持人。央视网记者提问，这个问题是给谢震业的。谢震业您好，4月12号的时候您就发布了微博，非常期待和大家在厦门的这一场见面。那么大家也对您明天晚上的这一场比赛是非常期待的，与外国选手的精彩的 PK， 以及可能会创造自己更好的这个 PB。那么你想给大家呈现一个什么样的谢震业，并且我们可不可以有一个更具体的目标？ 谢谢。
其实因为厦门这一站也是开春以来难得的一个世卫赛，赛季也刚刚开始，我也不敢说自己一定能创造多么高的一个成绩，但是我会尽我自己的全力，然后尤其是跟这么高级别的选手在一起比赛，就是我肯定要尽自己最大的一个努力，才能够得上跟他们去同场 PK。所以在这里的话，我也是希望自己能有一个好的表现。包括今年世锦赛和后面的奥运会的达标成绩都很高，都在10秒整。我希望有可能的话，能在这2场比赛当中就有希望去把这个标去争取打一下。如果你一定要有一个准确的一个目标的话，但是我只是说我尽量去做，对，因为我现在其实也是刚刚从室内转到室外，也不敢说自己就是具体能跑多快，但是我会尽我自己的全力。谢谢。
So she just asked about aim of this game, and she didn't say that because he only transferred from indoor season to the outdoor season, and this is only spring. So he wants to try his best. He cannot say what speed he can achieve this time, but he will try his best. Maybe qualify for Tokyo, because he will run this one and Keqiao Dam League. Just try, maybe these 2 Dam League he can achieve the goal, qualify for Tokyo. Yeah.
Thank you. Any further questions from the floor? We have a couple that have come in remotely for Letsile. It's from Il Giornale in Italy. And you have the microphone there? Or we'll just pass it along. Thank you. He says, if athletics saved you, I know you said did an interview recently where you said that. What has Olympic gold medal allowed you to do in terms of how your life has changed since last August?
The gold medal has helped me in many ways. It has opened doors that have been closed, and from my end, I'm happy that I inspired a lot of kids, and right now we are on a campaign to take as many kids to get into sporting codes, to help them get out of the neighborhood that we grew up in. So that's been the goal so far, and we are really achieving it.
And that's an appropriate answer, because his second question is, what would you tell kids who want to start running?
They should just run. They shouldn't give up on their dreams, because Rome wasn't built in a day. It took years to build up to where I am right now.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Yes.
Question for Akani. First, I would congratulate the South Africa team, because Letsile and Valarie and you already break the 10 barrier and make the full qualification for the Tokyo Championship. You and your teammates win the silver medal last year on Olympic Games. Do you think that's a change point for you career?
I think it's a change, yes, in my career, but at the same time, it's also an inspiration for the sprinting in South Africa. We have so many kids or younger guys that are just inspired by what we did last year. And this year, already so many South Africans, or some South African sprinters have already run fast, you know. So I think what we did last year has just fueled up a fire in the sprinters in South Africa, and I'm just excited about that, man. I'm excited about the new generation that's coming in. It's not just like sprinting in South Africa is going to die or anything. It's still going to live on for a very long time. So being part of that story and being part of the beginning of it, you know, that's also an important thing. And I'm looking forward to Tokyo, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the guys actually can do in Tokyo, because we just had our national championships now, well, yesterday, the 100 meters. And the guys ran really well, so it's going to be exciting time for South African sprinting, and yeah, it's going to be great.
From the season 2015 until now, you break the 10 seconds every season. it's 11 consecutive season for you to break the 10. So what's your own expectation for this season? Because I think the quantitative leads to the qualitative change.
That's that I actually didn't know about. I just found out on social media that I did that. But it's really exciting that that has been happening, and it's just showing that, what I've been doing and how I've been growing in the sport. I came into the sport not knowing anything about the sport, and I had already been thrown into competing on the Diamond League circuit, and doing it every year is really, 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 it's a good thing. It's a really great thing. But now this year, we don't just need to just break 10, it's just more being consistently in the final again, but trying to get a medal and making sure that, I go to championship healthy, making sure that I'm running consistently under 10, but fast at under 10, and just being a better athlete and growing in the sport and growing in the sprinting world.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, one more question from the middle.
好，谢谢曾烨，我是来自家乡浙江的媒体我来自杭州网。我想我们都知道，我们这次中国队也有几名我们浙江的运动员，包括你，还有那个戴倩倩跟陈雨洁，尤其是陈雨洁，那还是第一次参加这个钻石联赛。那么你作为队的老大哥，会不会给他们传授一些怎么样的经验？好，谢谢。
对，现在我们中国确实有很多很年轻优秀的选手出现，然后也是逐渐的能在就国际这种高水平的比赛当中比赛，对于他们是很好的一个锻炼，然后其实对于我来说也没有什么特别的经验传授给他们嘛，因为他们也是不断的在成长，在各个比赛当中，然后他们有自己的一个步伐和自己的一个节奏，我觉得我需要做的就是他们有任何疑问的话，我会毫无保留的，就是为他们解惑。对，如果他们自己能感觉独立能完成的话，我觉得这是一个很好的事情，因为因为运动员的成长其实是一个很特殊的一个职业，它并不是复制粘贴或者拷贝某一个前辈就能成功的，他需要有自己的一个独立的一个特色也好，或者自己的技术也好，自己的成长轨迹，所以如果他需要的话，我反正永远在那里，对。然后也是祝他们这次能取得更好的成绩，在各个高手的促进下，谢谢。
Okay, the journalist is coming from his hometown, Zhejiang province, and he asked that this time we have several Zhejiang athletes, Xie, and also very young lady, Zhenye Xie, we compete for women's 200 meters, and he just asked him to have some advices for the young people. And she is very, very nice. He said that, I have nothing to say, but if they have questions, I'll be here to help them. And everyone have their own steps for growth. So they are just trying their best to have their own way. But I'll be here just like a big brother to help them anytime.
Thank you. I have one more question for Christian before we go. The NFL draft is on this week, and American footballers are always talking about the 40-yard dash times, and I think it was 6 or 7 years ago you ran a 4.12, absolutely smashed the NFL record. How good did that feel to step out, and I guess, because I'm sure you often have to listen to how fast American footballers are, and then to show them what real track speed looks like?
I don't know. I mean, I really haven't thought about that too much in a while. Like you said, that was like 6 or 7 years ago. I would be pretty interested to see, like, what I could run now. But yeah, I don't know. I try not to pay too much attention to the track versus football speed competition thing. Just because, I mean, all of us up here know, like, it's a no-brainer type of thing. Like, we work on our craft every day to try to get from point A to point B, as fast as we can. And I don't know. So I try not to pay too much attention to it just because I feel like, I don't know, we don't say that we could do some of the things that, football players could do. So I take it a little bit as disrespect when they say they can do some of the things that we can do. But I don't know. I mean, it's fun banter, going back and forth sometimes. But what you were referring to is just, I don't know, when I was in college, and we just thought it would just be something fun to just get out there and do. And yeah, around this time, I always get tagged in videos and conversations where people are just, talking about, football versus track speed. And I don't know, it's a fun debate. So I was glad to be able to show what track athletes can do.
Thank you very much. Assuming we have no further questions, which I don't think we do, we can conclude the press conference there. So huge thank you to Akani, to Letsile, to Christian, and to Xie.
Thanks a lot, guys. And that also concludes the international part of this press conference. We will have a few one-to-one on the stadium for you guys. So with these 4 great runners. Practical. All the information, media information, will be available at 7 tonight after the technical meeting. The line draws, the pace for the distance races, and so forth. So on our webpage, and it will also be distributed in the EDMS and by mail. So thank you so much from Xiamen for this great press conference, and we will now escort the guys out on the field this way, and you guys have to go that way and out to the playoff field. Thank you.
就是还有一个15到30分钟的那个户外的采访，有兴趣的话可以从右后方这个门去混采区进行采访。